Sometimes whenever I watch shows, I think I've seen it all. You know what? I think, oh, you know what? This happened in these multiple shows. This is not gonna happen again. My mind's not gonna get blown away. Obviously, since you've seen an action series, you think you've seen them all because obviously they go the way they do. Obviously, gunfights, car chase scenes, a little bit of swearing. But Black Lagoon honestly just shocked me in the way that it managed to actually show off its maturity and its storylines and its characters in a very interesting and actually kind of disrupted way, but it's actually really realistic. And whenever a show of this magnitude, of this nature, I really like realistic shows just to get to the point. If it managed to invoke some sort of emotion that's actually real happening in the real world, obviously Black Lagoon did manage to entertain me, but also managed to show me that the real world itself is just the way it's actually portraying. You think, oh, this shit's so wild, it's not going to be real, or this is just it can't be possible. It's not humanly possible. We humans can't stoop so low that we actually do this in real life. But sadly, the world is a huge place, and this does happen very much. That is why I chose to review this show of my 1 week to Hell series. I believe it's gonna be day 2 of my 1 week to Hell series, but things could change as time progresses. So let's start, shall we? Black Lagoon talks about Rokuro Kojima, who was a Japanese businessman who worked with the Asahi company. Basically, he was a socialist who would get his ass kicked, by his boss. Usually, even in the first episode, even showed him just, drinking with his boss, just getting his ass kicked, and basically, would do nothing important. He was basically a negotiator. Basically, would learn about the different languages, and he would be an archaeologist type person. He would basically know everything, but we didn't really see him implement that job actually when he was working for Asahi company, but his boss decided to trust him with a disc and he would go to Southeast Asia and an island to deliver this disc. But the Lagoon company actually decided to kidnap him and actually, decided to give him for ransom to his boss. But his boss decided not to, bother with it. He decided to just abandon him. So, eventually as, they're getting chased and such, basically they're trying to get him back. Or they presumably try to get him back, whatever, when really they didn't really care about him at all, and they delivered the disc to Baleka, who was part of the city of Ranipur. And this is where I was setting is in Thailand, the fictional city of Ranipur, everybody's favorite shithole. And yes, I'm just saying that. So basically, they decided to dub him Rock. Instead of Rokurokijima, they called him Rock and basically joined the Lagoon Company as their businessman and just talks about, the fucking shithole Ranipur and the different jobs the Lagoon Company does. The Lagoon Company is obviously, run by a Dutch, who's basically a Vietnamese, war veteran, African American. Revi, who's basically the gun woman and basically a psychotic bitch of the entire series, but she is freaking awesome. And Benny, who's obviously, forced to drop out of college in Florida since he basically, he got into affairs that he shouldn't with the FBI and the mafia. So the Lagoon Company decided to take him under his wing since he was really good with computers. He's basically the geek of the series. And Rock, also known as Rokuro Kojima, who's basically the white collar Japanese man who's basically, the normal like everybody else. He's basically, us viewers. Basically, the show just follows his entire lens and such, and basically just follows different arcs. So Black Lagoon has multitudes of different arcs from the 3 seasons, or 2 season 1 OVA. People like to call Roberta's Blood Trail, which follows the the Lovelace family's maid, Roberta, basically, or Rosarita as most people like to call her, but it's really OVA. It's 5 episode OVAs, and it basically is a sequel after season 2. People like to call it season 3, but it's not actually season 3. And basically, the entirety of the story follows the grim, dark world of Ranipur, the different tasks the Lagoon companies need to do, from actually getting paintings to killing neo-Nazis to capturing basically children to even killing vampire like lollygoth type children. Yes, this show absolutely just goes on a whim just to show you how horrible humanity is. And as the show progresses, its unique way of developing characters is sort of realistic in a way because obviously, Revi has some trouble with her past because in season 3 or OVA, I'll call it season 3 since it is basically, the entire season, but in the OVA, basically, they revealed tidbits of her past. In season 1 and season 2 also revealed a little bit of her origins. I basically, did explain, why she was the way she is, why she doesn't trust humanity at all, and why she basically, knows how to use a gun very well. And obviously puts Rock in a situation where basically, his unique way of thinking is normally how the situation is always solved. Since he's basically known to be in the twilight, or the twilight, which basically means he's in the middle of everything. He basically gets to see a perspective in the light and the dark side as well. Since Wanna everybody Each of the characters around are very unique in face style and obviously, and skill sets and assets and everything else. They're very unique as well. But obviously, they have only one perspective, and that's to kill to earn money because that's what they learned when they were younger as kids, and basically they were forced to do that. But with Rock's character, he's capable of looking from two different lives, and the theme of this is obviously, regret and wishing they could go back to the previous life and wish they were not born in a situation where they were forced to kill people. Because in the end of the day, the reason they kill people, and some people obviously kill people because they enjoy it, but most people just wish they could obviously live a normal life for their families and such. And people are just forced into the situation, and the crime houses and obviously the syndicates of the families and their past also expand more, especially about Laika, who the Lagoon company chooses to associate with. And the fact that she was going to be an Olympic, runner, an Olympic person back in her age, but she was forced to join the war in Afghan and actually get honored with discharge because of something that she nicely did. She wanted to save a child, but she was actually forced because it was an Afghan child. That's why she couldn't really rescue her. And that's just the fact it was showing discrimination, racism, just all of these different tropes that are realistic. What Black Lagoon is just showing with its entertainment factor. The gunfights, all the car chase scenes, the explosion, just everything about Black Lagoon is just freaking amazing. I absolutely love the fact that Revy swears a shit ton. Yes, there is a fucking shit ton of swearing, which is why I'm also swearing a little bit more than I would normally would, just because this show has an emphasis on swearing in the English dub, and it's just absolutely brilliant. The arcs are basically, thought provoking and make you think of this show. Does has flaws of sometimes, just leaving the main characters out. Usually in different arcs, the villains play a more of a major role than obviously the main characters do. They like to develop the villains more, since obviously this is a dark world where all the villains will get the development, and that's really awesome. But our main characters are the characters we see throughout the entire of the show. The villains are just a one arc type thing, but we do see, obviously Roberta come back in season 2, and obviously in the Roberta Blood Trail, and also basically, all the Yakuza girl is basically gone. Obviously, Lollygoth vampires are basically gone. All the other villains are gone, but the main characters are always there. And sadly, they do not get any development. And since the manga is basically on a forever finished hiatus, since Rei Himoru is basically the mangaka and he's not basically making any more chapters, he makes one chapter every 6 months it seems. So Black Lagoon basically not gonna get a conclusion. But this is one of those series that obviously Roberta's Blood Trail does decide to, conclude the series on its own way. And you can think of it as, an open-ended type ending, where they obviously keep doing more jobs and Rock just learns more about the world. The animation is clean, just smooth, and just with the gun scenes and the fight scenes are just truly brilliant. And the soundtrack for this show, even though there are a lot of action-packed soundtracks, my favorite soundtrack is The World of Midnight and Roberta's theme, which is actually in a Colombian type theme, but it's just absolutely just amazing, and just how they represent the pain in the characters, how obviously the vampire children just want to be normal because they were forced to do the darkness that they were supposed to do. They were basically orphans who were basically abused. They don't kill people, they basically get raped themselves. And just to see that, obviously their mentality of, if we just kill everybody, we'll live longer. And the reason why they have that mentality is because, if we kill people, and obviously the children really live longer so we won't get abused. And just to see that mentality play in the real world, it's just, they were taught, like how we are taught to talk and walk is normal for them. It's normal for us, and obviously, killing is normal for them. It's just like the thing they do when they wake up in the morning. Like, it just absolutely, it pains me as a person to actually say this shit actually happens in the real world. And this show is just showing us the darkness that, some people won't even bother to tell us. So without a doubt, I recommend you watch the show. Please buy the show and watch it in the English dub, the Ocean dub. The Ocean dub are people who basically are responsible for Death Note's English dub and Inuyasha dub. If you enjoy any of the Ocean dubs, you'll definitely love this show. This is one of those shows that you need to watch before you die. I'm going to start making a list called shows you need to watch before you die, and this is one of those shows, just because the way it's realistic yet entertaining, and just explains though the world itself. Even though Rock's character is pretty naive, obviously most main protagonists in anime sometimes are very naive, but it's kind of reasonable because basically he's trying to forget his life and move on, but he can't really do that. But the horrible part of the show would be the lack of main character development, and the fact that it doesn't really have a true conclusion in an anime original ending, which isn't necessarily bad. Sometimes anime original endings for Roberta's Blood Trail is sometimes unnecessary and actually makes the show more impactful. So I do recommend you buy the series, There is a premium edition coming out which has all of the Black Lagoon anime content for $60 on Amazon. I will link every possible links that I can in the description below, and be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the review. And there is a few more days of my 1 week to Hell series where I upload reviews, impressions, everything else for all the week of Halloween straight. If you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up. It's your choice in the end. I'll leave the fate of the video in your hands. See ya.
To survive, there no one can see.